Everywhere you look right now, people are obsessed with discipline, dopamine detoxes, deep work, consistency, mindset, focus, self-improvement. Everybody talks about these ideas like they're revolutionary discoveries. But what if I told you the Bible already taught every one of these principles thousands of years ago? Not as productivity hacks, but as wisdom. And honestly, this should tell us something, because the world keeps rediscovering principles that God already built into reality. So in this video, I want to show you 5 massive success principles modern culture is obsessed with right now, and the scriptures that taught them first. And the last one honestly explains why so many successful people still feel empty. So, number 1. Right now, the internet is obsessed with discipline. Lock in, monk mode, stay hard, discipline equals freedom, because people are finally realizing if you can't control yourself, then you can't build anything meaningful. But listen to how the Bible described this thousands of years ago. In Proverbs 25:28, it says, "A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls." Think about that imagery. No walls, no protection, no boundaries. That's what a lack of self-control does to your life. You become vulnerable, every impulse, distraction, emotion, temptation. And then Galatians 5:22-23 says this, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law." Self-control is not just productivity, it's spiritual maturity. Even Paul compared discipline to athletic training in 1 Corinthians 9:25-27. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we are imperishable. I discipline my body to keep it under control. This sounds like a lot like modern self-improvement culture. The world calls it discipline, but the Bible called it self-control thousands of years ago. And once you see the pattern, you start seeing it everywhere. Because the next one might actually be the biggest battle of the internet age. Number 2, attention is the currency of modern culture. Apps want it, brands want it, algorithms want it. Because what has your attention eventually shapes your life. And that's why people are obsessed right now with deep work, dopamine overload, protecting focus, avoiding distraction. But listen to this verse from James 1:8. He is a double-minded man and unstable, and he who is a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. That verse feels terrifyingly accurate today because modern culture trains people to split their attention constantly. Scrolling, comparing, consuming, switching focus every few seconds. And Proverbs 4:25 says, "Let your eyes look directly forward and let your gaze be straight before you." That's focus. Hebrews 12:1-2 says, "Let us lay aside every weight and sin which clings so easily, looking to Jesus." Notice that. Lay aside distractions, fix your eyes, run with endurance. The Bible has always connected attention with direction because distracted people will drift. Focused people move intentionally. And honestly, that's why a lot of people feel mentally exhausted right now. Their minds never rest. They're constantly going in all these different directions. So point number 3, this next one is probably it's a massive entrepreneur culture right now. Consistency, compounding, small habits repeated daily. Everybody today talks about how tiny actions become massive outcomes over time. But Proverbs already said this centuries ago. Proverbs 13:11 says, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it, little by little." That one line destroys the fantasy of overnight success right there. Strong marriages are built little by little. Strong businesses, little by little. Strong faith, little by little. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." That's compounding. That's consistency. Luke 16:10 says, "One who is faithful in very little is also faithful in very much." The internet glorifies instant success, but God usually works through faithfulness over time. The world calls it compounding. Scripture calls it steadfastness. Okay, but this next principle might affect your future more than anything else, and most people completely underestimate it. Point number 4. Modern culture is obsessed with environment right now. Protect your circle, your network matters, who you surround yourself with, and honestly, the Bible could not be clearer about this. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, "Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals." That's direct. And Proverbs 13:20 says, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." You slowly become whatever you constantly surround yourself with. And that's why environment matters so much. Psalm 1:1-3 says, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season." That's proximity, it's environment. Some people are asking God to change their life while refusing to leave environments that are destroying them right now. The people around you are either pulling you towards wisdom or they're slowly draining your future. And the scripture understood that long before modern psychology ever did. Point number 5. This last one is massive in entrepreneur culture. Vision, clarity, goal setting, intentional living. Everybody today talks about designing your future, but listen to Habakkuk 2:2. "Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it." That sounds like modern strategic planning. Then you have Proverbs 29:18. It says, "Where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint." People drift when they lose vision. And even Jesus said in Luke 14:28, "Which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost?" That's intentionality. That's planning. The Bible never teaches accidental living. But here's the difference between biblical wisdom and modern hustle culture. Culture says purpose is about building yourself. Scripture says purpose is about surrendering yourself to God. And I honestly think that's why so many successful people still feel empty, because achievement without purpose eventually becomes exhaustion. So no, the Bible is not outdated. It's not disconnected from reality. It's wisdom. It's timeless wisdom. And what's fascinating is watching modern culture slowly rediscover principles Scripture has been teaching for thousands of years. Discipline, focus, consistency, influence, vision. The world just keeps repackaging them, but God established them because the creator of life understands how life actually works. And maybe that's why biblical wisdom still speaks so powerfully today. Not because it's trendy, but because it's true. If this video challenged the way you think about Scripture, subscribe, because I want to keep making videos connecting biblical truth to questions culture is already asking. And also comment below, what's another modern success principle you think the Bible taught first? Follow, like, subscribe. I'll see you later.